yes, we have Joseph Mwabili, okay? And he's here to talk to us about the economics inside sports.
Yep.
Sawa. Now to understand vizuri. Everyone is like, hey, manze Chan, watu walikuwa millionaires, Harambee Stars. Wengine wakisema, hey, manze, the athletes pia wamebag kapesa. But there is more to that. Especially in the grander scale of not only the national economy, but how the sport goes ahead. And he's our expert of today. Joseph.
Naam.
Vipi bana?
Poa sana, vipi?
Niko salama sana. Now, first of all, tuende kizungu, tuende Kiswahili.
Niko sana zote, but Kiswahili sana.
Kiswahili sana?
Naam.
Dan said.
Niko leta ata struggle.
Wow.
Like I normally hear. And Kiswahili huwa kidogo inatoka like in a comic way.
In a comic.
Wow.
Kiswahili, it comes out in a comic way.
Yeah.
But it's better than Joe's, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. It's better than Joe says.
Bro.
Actually, tukiwa
Ara tuzanza show bana.
Joe tukiwa kwa na producer Sam.
Yes.
So when you're saying Mwabili, he was like, why is he butchering your name? Because Mwabili,
Mwabili, unaisema haraka.
There's no M before the B. It's Mwabili.
Mwabili.
Not Mwambili.
Mwabili it is. You know my producer sometimes ananileteaga chakula kutoka nyumbani.
Okay.
Where he comes from.
Yes.
So I think that's where the M is affecting. Naongeza M kila pahali.
It's okay.
So yes, Joseph Mwabili is here. Naona hata sasa nimeitoa vizuri.
Yeah.
There you go. So the first conversation mimi nataka tukue nayo is the significance of sports industry in the country's overall economy.
Wow. Sidhani there's a better way to say it than ukiangalia time ya Chan. How businesses or hotels in Nairobi, how the vendors within the city or even just closer within the stadium or even the transport sector, how much money they made. Let's not forget even about the players. I think last month I was in Dar. Kulikuwa na Simba Day and Yanga Day. And I'm telling you, Dar es Salaam shuts down. From jerseys, say like you go to, they normally sell the jerseys in Sunderland store and I think Jangwani. Those are the official stores. It's packed from asubuhi. Ukiwa kwa hotel unasikia watu wanabishana tu. Simba Yanga. Hoteli zenyewe Dar es Salaam hazipatikani. Like we had to find an Airbnb away from town because unaambiwa there's haipatikani. It's not available. So sports can be a whole huge contributor to a country's GDP or even solve part of the country's employment problems.
Right.
We've seen it in Europe. So kwetu pengine ndo bado we're still growing in that department, but the potential is crazy.
The potential is crazy.
We've seen Kenya hosting a lot of international tournaments of late.
Yeah.
Remember, I can start all the way back to the WRC, the one that Akina Sebastian came.
Yeah.
That one for sure was an economic boom because hotels were full. The minute it was announced, this guy and that guy are coming, we saw a shift in terms of the tourism that comes along with these sports events.
Yes.
Now we are keeping a lot of bids to host other international, from athletics to rugby, everything.
AFCON,
Ndoio 2027. How, aside from hiyo venye tunasema mahotel na nini, I think there's someone once who told me the reason why you find Kenya can outsell Rwanda in terms of hosting international tournaments is because of our hospitality industry.
Yeah.
So the growth of this, tuseme hiyo connection ya, like what should our target be in terms of international tournaments versus our tourism, because it does boost the tourism. And should we expand outwards? Nairobi, we go to the major cities.
Yeah.
We should be going to the major cities, but first we need to tap kapsa, we fully utilize the city, the main city. By utilizing namanisha, the hospitality industry, to be honest, is on point, the hotels. Because where I work, at Mashuru Sports Foundation, we deal with a lot of clubs. Could be football clubs, pro clubs. And I can tell you for a fact that a lot of teams during these CAF competitions, they are kina Al Ahly, they are kina Sundowns. whenever they have matches within the East African region, they'd rather reside in Kenya, in Nairobi. But now the challenge becomes, because it's a football club, well, let's say it's a basketball club, we don't have enough high quality facilities. At least now things are coming up, but we don't have enough high quality facilities to complement that. So you'd find maybe, let's say, a team sleeping in a lot of the times maybe West T, but wakiamka asubuhi they'll warm up maybe rooftop. They try to stretch rooftop because coming down paka kuje maybe around Annex or Utalii to have, or Police Circle to have their sessions. So see that distance. Well, if you have something under one roof or in close vicinity, then it becomes like it's a killer move.
It's easier.
It's easier
for the players,
right?
Yeah.
So hapa tu tunataka to tap in, tukimalizana hapo, now we can expand to other cities because our hotels are on point. Like we have so many high quality hotels in Kenya compared to in Nairobi, compared to other cities in East Africa.
In East Africa. Now that reminds me of whenever we would watch, for example, the Champions League final. The previous night, unasikia the fans went to the club hotel where the club is at the hotel.
Yes.
Yet you'll see the hotel, for example, like now the finals, the Champions League, the previous on that PSG won. You'd find that where PSG were and where the grounds were, the stadium was like a kilometer more, at most a kilometer and a half. And you'd see now fans getting there, obviously wanasema wezi lala juu ya kelele yao. But like you've mentioned, that creates that idea of, from a business perspective, I mean, build a hotel next to a sporting ground. But now the security part of it, does that concern a businessman in terms of the security part of it?
But by security you mean the security of the facility, maybe the hotel?
Of the facility of the hotel and also the people it's hosting.
Okay, it's another dynamic because maybe they're fans, even though we still have incidences, but they don't necessarily attack where players sleep or vandalize where players sleep. So I don't think it's a concern, because if you don't fix that, we'll have a scenario where a match is played at 5 p.m. and the roads are closed from 6 a.m. You see, which is not really you're trying to boost the economy with sports, but if you are going to close roads from 7 then it's counter.
Bro, you saw that with Chan, eh?
Yeah, I saw that with Chan.
From 6 a.m. unaambiwa hii barabara imefungwa.
Imagine watu wangapi wanatumia Thika Road. So the only solution is to have these things complement each other.
Correct.
So that it becomes easier.
Yes.
For this one to support this one.
For this one to support that one.
Yeah.
And then now, in terms of, we have talked about how it is important for the economy in terms of the sports relations. Let's go down to club level. Okay. Off air, you and I and also Nicolette, we're talking about what is happening right now with Harlequins, whereby 38 players were released. Okay. And in terms of the relation between how the club communicates where they lack money to the players was really shambolic. I mean, unaweka kwa WhatsApp, unaambiwa it's either ucheze ama uende. Clubs are struggling with getting both the performance from the players and the profitability from what it generates. So, from an economist perspective, unaonaje, how can they balance the two? Because something like Harlequins has been there since time immemorial in terms of a rugby
It's a legendary club.
Yes. Impala, another one. Nondescript's another one. We earlier on we were talking with Nikki about it, and we said Impala, for example, has a sports club in it. So it can raise revenue from that.
And it's a good place.
And it's
Yeah.
Now, for clubs like Harlequins that are struggling like this, what other avenues can they look towards to generating some money, so that you don't have a situation whereby you're releasing 38 players?
Like that's an entire season squad.
Those are 2 teams.
2 teams.
Na subs wanane.
We've had these conversations in my circles so many times. How can clubs find more avenues of raising money to support themselves? And to be honest, there are so many avenues. I know it's not that easy, but like you said, Impala has a sports club.
That has
members. So you can always package match days to be an entertainment day, to be a fun day. There are so many things. Like I normally try to use the European model because it has been working. But recently I saw it even with Yanga, where from asubuhi you'll find kuna DJs labda wamekuja mapema, so they're doing set performances hapo. So even if umetoka church, you can always go to the stadium mapema, enjoy that day. Hapo hivyo utapata the club has imeongea maybe na vendors, maybe ni alcoholic vendors, maybe ni food na kila kitu. So you can ukienda Sunday, you can always find breakfast, lunch uko sure utapata bila shida yote. There's liquor kama unataka, hizi ma fun kid games kama unataka. So you can always find a way kutoa pesa kwa mfuko wa fun, in a way that pia yeye anapata value for their money. Alternative, of course, merchandising. It's one of the biggest sources of income. From hoodies, from jerseys, from bracelets, from literally it's a whole business on its own. So if you find a way, but again it has to be, you find a way to have a good connection with your fans, for them to feel like they need to buy the merchandise, then it's a solid avenue to make money. Of course you can talk about digitalize the commercialization of maybe the digital platforms, with content from YouTube, from the TikTok donations, because I've seen even big clubs in the world where people donate for them,
to the club.
Of course, now if you build that digital community, it comes now with potential for sponsorships, which is another stream for making money. My point is, you need to find more ways of creating value, even for sponsors, for your fans, for you to be able to have these different. But if you depend on maybe the league to find the sponsor, it will never be enough. If you only depend on ticketing on match days, it will never be enough. You normally chukua kidogo hapa, then you combine, ndo maana unapata. Because I normally see you support an English, you support the EPL, even Nicolette is a Man United fan. But tell me, the EPL can give Man United 140-something million in TV rates. But Manchester United runs on around 600-500 million budget annually. So that alone cannot even cover a quarter of their expenses. It can't. So hata ukiongeza na maybe the sponsor, gives them around 70 million a year. So that's still 200. Bado ijafika. So ni hapo uchukue Old Trafford Gate Collection, kuna museum, you can come watch our live through our history in our museum, pay something. You can come buy our merchandise, pay something. Kuna huyu
wako na hotels pia,
wako na hotels pale. Kuna sijui sasa sleeve sponsors na kila kitu. So you have to find so many different ways of consolidating your sources of revenue. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard.
But you know, the thing is, when we look at clubs like Harlequins, look at clubs like Gore, these are clubs. Harlequins was there, 1950 something. You would not be having these discussions today. They should be the ones setting the pace in terms of how to run a club, the business end of it. Because I feel like in Kenya, the biggest thing we're lacking is the talent is there. The pull for the talent is there. The interest of the sports is there. But now, when it comes to the business angle, tunaran kama hata kioski naraniwa better, to be honest. Because, honestly, when you're talking about merchandising, rugby jerseys are expensive. It doesn't matter what club you're in. Kenya, I think, is about 7.5. You get, like, they're expensive, and it's very hard to get even the replicas, because they found a way to sort of cap and control it. And you, when you're a true fan of this club, you will buy the original merchandise. But Nukulize say you want to buy a Harlequins jersey. Joe, you're a Harlequins fan. How do I buy one?
Well, from the club, first of all.
Where?
Well, like I said, if you go to RFUA, first of all, physically, you go there. Secondly, you can get them off the social media pages, whereby you can order the jersey. So 2 avenues for me that I know of. Now, if you find it anywhere else,
hiyo umetengeneza hapa chini River Road.
But it's not
so
the issue Nicolette is accessibility of the cost.
The cost is fine. Rugby fans, at least I'll give them that they are a bit bougie. I should have blipa 7k kununua jersey. But where am I getting this jersey? You understand? Because Joe is telling me, okay, fine, the I can get it at Nini. But tell me how many times
at
we've
the club itself.
At the club itself. Tell me how many times we've gone there for Christie's, for Kabeber. When tumeona ndo hiyo duka.
Akuna, right?
You'd find that merchandise that is being sold, for example, the Kababeri 7s, you'll find more pushing for the 7s or the 15s national jersey.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Hiyo ni home ground yako.
And you'll find them scattered everywhere. And this is something I've witnessed as a fan. And again, it's my opinion. If someone else has an opinion about that, 0748999111. I've gone there. There are more stands that are selling the rugby 7s or the rugby 15s
of the national team.
Of the national team, there are more of club teams selling their merchandise there. You'll even find other entities, for example, like there are teams that are a collection of players that have come together and have formed a club that are participating in that event. They are selling their jerseys there. So again,
So it's normally a very complicated dynamic, to be honest. Of course, I'm not letting the club management off the hook here. And in my opinion, also, if you're talking about the high quality of the jerseys, I'm trying to relate to the rugby crowd. It's a bit they normally have the purchase power. If you say if you sell the jerseys either at 7K or 5K, maybe they can buy. But now I've been working with Kayole Starlets, and when the cost of creating or the cost of what's the right word? Manufacturing a good jersey, a good quality jersey. You'll have to import, of course. Sometimes it becomes, there's no business if you sell maybe, let's say, under 3,000. If you want to sell it under, let's say, 3,000, you'll have to now compromise on the quality. Because the fabrics, to have those legit, breathable, comfortable fabrics, now you'll have maybe to import one maybe at 3,000 already. So if you do the branding, it comes to 4,000. So now you can't sell below that quality. And maybe the normal fan wouldn't be able to afford that seamlessly. So now for you to tap into the majority, now I've diverted a bit to football. For you to be able to tap into the majority of that fan base, you'll have also to make it affordable for them. How do you make it? You have to compromise on the quality. Correct. For you to reduce the cost of production. Yeah. So it's a bit, it's a dilemma where clubs are feeling like, okay, already we are stretched with funds. So do we invest on this, or do we focus even on paying the players first? Not even the salaries, maybe the bonuses first. We're not even talking about the salaries. Or do we even need to facilitate the logistics of the team going to a match day instead of investing, because now it looks like luxury. I know you have to spend money to make money, but then you have to spend the money that you have. If you don't have money, then it becomes a challenge. So it circles back to ways of creating revenue. We need to have more and more ways, because at the moment you're on survival mode. Yes. And when you're on survival mode, you'll always discard the luxuries.
Let me ask you a question. Like you said, I'm a Manchester United fan, and there are two tiers of jerseys right here, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you in terms of a fan. There is what I can afford right now if I walk to Moya Avenue, Tomboya, various shops on those streets. And then there's the authentic one that you can buy from all these online stores that are worldwide, Amazon, the likes, Alibaba, the likes that are authentic from the club. Yeah. From the club, £70. Yeah. Sawa. Yeah. You give that even roughly what? Just put 2 zeros at the end. Okay. Let's say it's 100, for example. That is 7,000 shillings. Yet I can still go to Moy Avenue and buy one for 1,500 shillings. Yeah. Still, I'm representing Manchester United. Okay. I'm creating awareness all over that, you know what, kama Johnny Manchester United supporter, kama Joseph, for example, ni Arsenal supporter, na ndio jersey, story tukanunue jersey. Yeah. Do you think any of these fans really, I'm sorry to say this, do you think they will think to themselves, sijava ile original, ile original?
But can I add on to that? Yeah. If you go on any Premier League team, I'm not sure about the championship, I'll just focus on the Premier League team. Yeah. And you log in and you want to buy a jersey. I'm going to tell you how they make extra money when it comes to the jersey. There's a standard cost, right? Yeah. There's also a replica. Yeah. On their website, they have a replica option. Okay. Right. Then, how they make extra money now, when you're buying a jersey, haina jina, haina number. Hebu say ingia website ya Manchester United. Say you want to buy a Bruno Fernandes jersey.
Yeah.
Because of the fact of the name and the number, the pricing will be different from me saying I want to buy Ahmad's jersey.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
There's also that. Me as a local league fan, nipatie yo jersey ya 3K, but give me an option of a cheaper one. Because if you go on Manchester United, I can guarantee you right now WWE enda. Utakuta there's you'll spend roughly about 12 to 15K to get a proper original authentic Manchester United jersey. Yes. But then you also have the replica option.
So acha na Joe. Because when you say unaona hiyo context ya Manchester United, it means let's say you are Manchester United. For the club itself, doesn't make any money from that. So it's not helping the club in any way. But not in any way, because from a visibility point of view,
exactly.
They get something at least.
Yeah.
But they're not making revenue out of that. Now, if you bring it to the Kenyan context, it means we'll have a lot of unless the clubs zenyewe zitengeneze the sort of you call
authentic and replica. Yes.
Kama ni mtu mwingine inaonyesha club itakuwa make any money. And for the club to come and even the replica, bro, jizi ya replica still hapa in Kenya kutengeneza. Mimi niko sure
cost iko juu.
Bado cost iko juu. And ukienda uchukue hapo inda, uchukue fabric, just a normal fabric hii yenye ni cheap unasema.
Yeah.
To be honest, watu wengi watakuwa na criticize because you are delivering poor quality products. Juizi jezi replica
watu ni mwenye atavaa replica ya Moyo Avenue ya a certain Premier League, La Liga or Serie A team.
Hizo zananio zi come from China pia.
Yes.
Ambazo tayari zishatengenezwa na kila kitu. So if you bulk buy, then the cost is slightly cheaper. So mkishikana watu watatu wanne, then they bulk buy, they can come and sell at your 1500, 1300 and it's fine. But hapa if you're importing, we were acha nitoe na niyo example. So we are doing we are tuko natafuta jersey ya Kayole this season.
Correct.
So we found Gofere. It's an Ethiopian company. Gofere on the deal they say if you buy 5,000 jerseys, now we'll be able to maybe discount you for the squad yako, like we'll give you jerseys as squad, good quality for free, right? Okay. Let's say if it's 40 pieces,
yes,
good quality, but you have to buy 5,000. So for 5,000 unapata it's a lot of money, ni laki kadhaa. So kwa owner anaangalia 5,000, kama sina guarantee I'll sell all of them, then is it a worth investment at the moment where sina do enough and I need to prepare for the season also? Their logistics, their salaries, their everything. It comes to we are on survival mode. So some of the luxuries we have to overlook them at the moment to be able to sustain whatever costs we have.
Correct, whatever costs you have. We are going to take a break, but when we come back, the conversation is still going on with Joseph Mwabili. Umeona nimesema vizuri?
Yeah, sasa umejaribu.
Nimejaribu, sasa sifanya vizuri.
You are making the Mwabili like unaona in capital. Si ndio? Joseph Mwabili. In cost we say Mwabili.
Oh, unaisema haraka.
Mwabili. No, the B is in small letters. It's
the B
Mwabili.
is in small letters. Where I come from in Narok, the B is in capital. B.
So Jukwa Sports is a sports marketing company. We're trying to fully focus. I know there are so many marketing companies and advertising companies, but majority of them wame diversify. They can do these other corporate things that are away from sports. They combine, but we focus purely on sports. That is sport athlete branding, that is team management, and we're just trying to streamline sports management.
Good, and I like that because we're going to get into that right now. Athletes today aren't just players, they are brands. Now, how does that shift the economic landscape of sports? Because we may mention tu hata saizi.
Wow, normally a very interesting conversation. So you say individual, you mean individual brands. So like if a player is able to create a solid brand, how does it impact on the financial side?
Yes.
Of course, it's very straightforward that if you have a solid brand, means you have been able to create value that people can also benefit. So it's easier for them to exchange, to make it's easier for that transaction to be complete, where I give you my value, my association, and you give me let's say the revenue or the whatever support we agree. So it's as good as having a good business. Like that would be the simple
way to put it.
Way to put it. Like ukiwa na biashara nzuri, that's it. Ukitengeneza brand nzuri nikao kuna biashara nzuri.
And let me add on to this and expand on that question by asking you, how important is athlete branding? Because I feel like it's something our athletes overlook. Especially with the social media currency right now.
It's I understand. Wala hiyo kuna dynamics mob because
twende nazo,
because branding si rahisi unless yeye anajifanyia kuna cost ina come right. So your cost unless upatane na mtu again ambaye mtakubaliana kufanyia for free, you'll have to pay money. And I know there are some clubs that pay decently. So I know some clubs that pay decently. So inamaanisha players can still have something kidogo ya kupatia maybe a social media manager or I don't know, washikane, they hire a branding company, a marketing company to do branding for them. But it's very important for them to understand how their public image can improve their lives. You can go and see other I was looking at Ronwen Williams. He plays for Mamelodi Sundowns. He has a deal with Puma, which they pay crazy bucks for him to use him. If you have good branding, that means even on the league, even on sponsorships, you can negotiate independently on your image rights, right? So the possibilities of you capitalizing on it are limitless. Let's not even talk about the private sector approaching you for you to influence for them, for you to be their ambassador. Even just the goodwill, even the government can approach you for you to be the tourism. You can see, I mean, Kipchoge. You can see I think the athletic side is kind of hacking it, or they are doing way better than these other sports maybe. I think even the Safari Rally are not badly off, our Kenyans. So if you take the context of Kipchoge, imagine, and maybe athletics is not the most followed sport in the country. So now imagine a footballer playing for the biggest club in the country. Imagine the potential.
The potential right there. And I like the fact that also you've been interacting with so many athletes and sports people, not only in Kenya but also in Africa. Sometimes you'll get endorsements and sponsorships that outweigh or even outlimit the salary that you're getting from the club. So, what are some of the biggest financial mistakes then athletes do after all that bucks, like you've said, comes in and it affects their career, and on the larger scale, how it affects the economies? What are some of those mistakes that we may notice? That umepata hizo endorsements zote lakini bado kuna to blunder. Hiyo naweza anza an example yangu, even though I'm not an athlete. Uzuri.
Nishaipata lump sum.
Yes.
Some good cash.
Yes.
Nishaipata. Let's say kama 400k. Mara ya kwanza. To be honest, nilikuwa na 170k. Juu ilikuwa kama Friday. Nilikuwa na 170k imebaki. By the time na it's Tuesday. Na I think kitu linunua yenye nazangalia ni TV na ufa nzuri. So you can imagine wengine imepotea hapo. You go through your transactions like 8k imeenda mahali. Point ni again you have to have another dynamic of financial management or literacy, because do changanya mse. Money is crazy. Now when you have this huge amounts of money, you don't see it going like huoni kama ufeel kama inaenda. Unataka tu kuitumia. And of course now you get so many people wanting to be associated with you, and that can also be taking money away from you. So actually even at Jukwaa Sports we try to incorporate your financial literacy sana in our teams. I'm talking about Kayole Starlets. So before the season starts, you normally invite someone with that expertise. They come and talk to the players on how, when you get your money, how can you reinvest? How can you, even if you're not reinvesting, how can you save?
Correct.
The aim is to reduce or even limit your expenditures. because there's life after football, and the football career or the sports career is majority of the time it's not that long unless you are an athlete or this super special player. Majority of the time it's 5-10 years imeenda. So the moment imeenda and the big money stopped coming in and your expenditure was high, imagine it won't take even 5 years for you to go back to the trenches.
Yes, correct. To where you are, correct. Queen Nikki, I see that's something actually Queen Nikki is very interested in, because she has always been advising me, Joe, I know paycheck inakuja, I know unaona Kelvin nyuma ya tent, Joe pole isifika hapa 15th unaweza kukaa uko na njia ingine ijulikane.
I think it's something that cuts across the entire sports peke yake, everywhere. Unapata salo imeingia date 4 and by date 10 watu wengi tayari hawana do. Ameanza kuongelesha HR, kuona HR nyuma ya tent.
I think they'll move from finances and go into commercialization of sports. Now, yes, we've seen sports in Kenya aside from athletics and unfortunately rugby that is known globally, right?
Yeah.
Football has really grown.
Sana
right now, we can say it's really grown in Kenya. But what can Kenyans and Africa in general borrow from the Europeans in terms of commercialization of these sports of ours?
They should just invest more in marketing and PR. You have to create that illusion that your product is the best.
But do you feel like we still have a problem? We still have a problem in terms of, I can tell you something as simple as social media. The way I'm telling you, it's overlooked. Do you think we still have a problem of clubs and management in clubs understanding how important the marketing and PR aspect is to the team?
I believe it's a huge problem because I've been there. I'm still there. You'd find most even of the social media managers are not paid. Or they're not paid enough to be able to focus on that one job. So you look at some of the social media pages of our football clubs, even in the country, it's a lot of banter content. It's not something substantial, I'd say. And if you go to probably a marketing director of a company and you tell them, okay, we are this and this football club, these are our numbers, this is what we are, they'll look at you and you're like, if you're giving me this it's banter content, why don't I hire a Twitter influencer?
Yeah, it's true, because it sounds like a personal person.
It's like a meme. It's like a meme page. So we need to also revamp what we are posting. I like what Tusker does, by the way. They do some at least good content that is quite reasonable, and it can be, you can have a conversations with some of the top maybe marketing or decision makers in companies and say, this is what we are able to offer, and they can understand. Because that's another challenge. Or even if you keep on updating us on during match days, you share a match day poster and a full-time poster, right? And maybe you dump training pictures. There's nothing you're communicating there. Like I said, you need to create an illusion that your product is the best, your club is the best, and your players, sometimes even individual players, franchise a player. Make your own Lamine Yamal.
True.
Because in as far much Europe has some really good players, they're way hyped, and we consume that hype. Even in Kenya, I might think Lamine Yamal is the best thing that has happened to football since Messi. But do you think that's true? It's not, but I genuinely believe that. So it means someone has illusioned me or has conditioned me to believe that this guy is the best.
Don't worry, next Ballon d'Or, we're having Ogam there. Ogam Akopala
I saw that
the Ballon d'Or.
But you see
that? You see now that's conversation. Yes.
But you see, even that, it goes back to that branding of an athlete.
Yeah.
Me, I know Austin plays for my team. How am I overhyping this guy? You understand?
That's what I'm saying. It has to come from, if you have a marketing team or a PR team, we decide, okay, maybe Austin is really marketable. Is good. For a man to say is good looking, but
just say it with your chest.
I've been having that problem here, talking about Cabra's sugar team.
Yeah, but he's camera friendly.
Camera friendly.
I like that.
He's also a very for me, he's the best player in the country.
Right.
Technical abilities are over the roof.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So this is a player who you can create an entire narrative around him.
Mm.
He plays for the best, literally the most successful club in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So why can you not franchise this player
Mm.
and make him look like a god? Do you know in Tanzania, Pacome Zuzwa,
Mm-hmm.
he's like the best thing. Like, if you mention Yanga, the moment their star player is Pacome.
Mm.
Yeah, even fans, even people in Tanzania are dyeing their hair because Pacome has dyed their hair.
Mm.
That's Tanzanian, our friends.
Yes.
Even during the presentation of the players, he was the last one to
Mhm.
be presented.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a whole hype around him, around the presentation of him. Now wengine washapresentiwa. So they have franchised that player. They had Aziz Ki, they did that Mayele, the same. Simba did it with Chama. You can even the league can take that initiative and pick some of the best players who can be franchised.
That's what La Liga does.
Yeah.
That's what La Liga does. They pick the best players and they use that to push the narrative.
And even clubs can use, there are so many ways to do this. You can work with digital creators.
Yeah.
Push tags, push narratives with now that we have social media. There are so many Gor Mahia fans. There are so many sports outlets right now. Create that narrative. It's possible. Chan were doing that, Juicy. And you see the ripple effect on how literally almost all our games were sold out. Akina Mora times were doing the tags. And they were pushing the fun, fill the stadium agenda. And it worked. So why can't these big clubs do that?
I like the fact that you've brought that in because what we were going to talk about again next, it was going to tag into that. Every weekend, I can watch La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga.
Okay, not Bundesliga.
Come on, I can watch
Let's just go Premier League,
and Premier League,
La Liga, Serie A,
and
Championship.
Yes,
The
Championship.
Scottish Premier League.
Because it's Premier League, yeah. And with Sporty FM, even I can catch some Saudi Pro League
On Sporty TV,
on
yes.
Sporty TV. They say Sporty FM. Yes, on Sporty TV, you can get that. Are you afraid, Joseph, that it comes to a point whereby, without the exposure of mainstream media, okay,
Yes.
and pay TV, for
Yes.
example, Netflix coming in, Amazon coming in,
Showmax
coming in,
Yeah.
that we're going to show some games there. Without that exposure, don't you think that is why, right, for example, right now, we can't say like we have a poster 3 or 4 team or 4 players that come to our mind. One of the broadcasters that were in the country who are broadcasting the Kenya Premier League pulled out, sindio?
Yeah.
Because there were issues around that. But at that time, whenever they would hype the weekend games, it's like a player of each team was hyped from each team. So you're sitting there as a Shabana fan, you're like, yes, mtu wetu amerepresent yo hapo. Kama weni police, Kenya Police, yes. FC Leopards, yes. You know, Tusker, yes. Mathare United, yes. Hivo. Do you think it's high time that, you know, the relevant authorities come back and say, we need more exposure of seeing these games in our country? Because we are being left behind by even, you know, the likes of the Saudi Pro League.
There's no other shortcut, to be honest. I wish there was, but there isn't. Visibility is the only way to get eyeballs, right?
Right.
For if you get eyeballs, then it means now more people are paying attention to your product, and that's how you create or improve the value of it. So saizi we have only one broadcaster. I'm not sure the national broadcaster still
broadcast the games.
Yeah. So we have only one broadcaster, and sometimes it can feel like what's the right word to say it? If you are not able to buy the, can we mention the name?
If you're not able to pay for it,
if you're not able to pay for it,
yes,
then it becomes very hard for you to. You have to wait for the highlights.
the highlights.
They're in business, so I understand why they have to go with that model.
Yes.
But they need to be different broadcasters, or not even broadcasters. They're like I said, there are so many digital. There's still a way to protect the copyrights of the main league sponsor, but still exposing the content of your league.
It goes down to the best way to explain it and how come we don't do it is how boxing and MMA made money. Before insisting on cable TV, they had the power of pay-per-view. pay-per-view is what
Pay-per-view.
built the money in the combat sports world. Why can't we just adopt something like that?
In terms yeah.
We're digital nini sai uniambie kuna game ya Sharks versus Mathare.
Na unaweza watch tu.
Uniambie 30 bob ndo watch game. What will prevent me from playing that 30 bob? Mr. Kwenda Stadium. Me, I want to watch in
and
the comfort of
the
my
masses.
home.
Because me, I think there's a way. I know the main broadcaster might have an issue with the bigger teams, but I think there's a way you can renegotiate at least some of the games to go through the pay-per-view, and even if you can do a revenue sharing model, but there's a way. You need to get these people to you need to get your product to more and more people, especially in Ushago, around the country, because I'm sure if you're not in Nairobi or in the major cities, then it becomes very hard for you to access the games unless you go to the stadiums.
Yeah.
So we need to find more ways of nafani kiamka tu naona KPL.
Correct.
Mimi naweza itafuta because niko interested.
Yes.
Na naweza nikalipia. So but you need watu wote mwenye kama msee ajui. Unaona venye you find ladies who maybe but they were really amazing scenes. But wase hata wajui game kwa mimi sasa mtafutie tiko in the game. Wase hata kwa interested. Hiyo sasa create FOMO. Na hiyo ndio kitu bado we are growing, but at the moment we are still not there.
My last take or my last question to you is, how did Tanzania, in terms of their club football, get it right in a short span than Kenya, we have been having it for a long period of time? I mean, like you said, if you talk about Yanga, you talk about a certain player, boom, following. If you talk about Simba Day, following, boom. How did they get it right in such a short time that us, we've been having our league longer and we haven't really grasped it vizuri? I
think kwangu, in my opinion, I think we regressed.
Okay.
And that they improved, but I think we regressed because they only talk about the two big clubs, to be honest. So it's not like they cover the entire league that heavy. So it's a concept that we can also adapt and, to be honest, run with it very quickly.
But we have Gor Mahia and FC Leopards.
That's why I'm saying the model they use even in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
They know how to create hype, how to kiki. Wamevia sana kiki. If you look even at their kitambo, their bongo movie industry was a big thing. Now even their bongo flavor, they are normally their stories kuna kama a billion online media kule. And even in their, so you make it very easy for creators first. Invite them. Waite kila time. Make it maybe compulsory for the big teams. Like I said, you just franchise. Maybe these are the two teams. La Liga does it.
Yeah.
You invest heavily on their visibility. Make sure maybe they have to allow them to sign more international players. Increase the slots. Because if you improve the quality, that means you pull in the crowds. Make it maybe compulsory for the teams to have pressers.
Good.
Make it very invite maybe the teams should have their spokespeople or people who can speak for them. They should be visiting media channels. They should be visiting media outlets, sports outlets. Talk about what's happening at the club.
Yeah.
Literally, make your football the only talk of the town.
Yeah.
I like that.
Make noise.
There's a friend of ours that Nikki and I know. He's called Eric Njiru. And like the other day when Gor were playing and they lost to Bidco United, you know, like you've said, have your own pressers there. Yeah. I mean, him as a fan, him as a sports guy, you know, he goes out there and interviews all these guys, all the fans, nini. But you'd expect, like, for our big two teams, like you've said it, have pressers whereby you have either club legends, analysts, nini, from Gor, for example, and they're talking also to the fans, like, how did the game go? Where did we lose? Nini, where were we not okay with it? And that creates more views, more eyes on you.
More eyes.
Eric does a very good job.
Yeah,
Don't get me. Yeah, you know him. Yeah, he does a very good job at it. But imagine if you had that. You had like 10 of them.
Like you're saying, we were saying Tusker. I think Tusker has pretty much pressers normally, and also the federation normally allows for immediately after games for journalists to do post pressers. But imagine the big clubs also adopt that model where it doesn't have to come from the federation. You just, because if you call digital creators to come for your presses.
They'll come.
If you give them, they know they'll have content also. It's mutually benefiting.
Yeah.
Find something they can talk about. They have spaces. That's how you put your product out there. For me, I think the product is there. People used to criticize the quality of maybe the players, but with Chan, to be honest, I saw we have a very good quality. So maybe the motivation is the one that's lacking, and that was the gap that maybe the president noticed. But if the quality, if we have that quality, why can't we make noise about it? To be honest, it's sad for me. Sometimes it pains me, but on our side we are working on it. You can check out Kayole's talent. We really do a good job. Mondi does a good job on the socials, on the pressers. We right now will be having a pre-match and post-match with our captain and the coach. We normally do our introduction videos very well. We normally do introduce our players. They have to do interviews. We try to engage with the fans as much as possible, and now we are trying to improve also on the merchandise.
Good stuff. That is Joseph Mwabili. No, let me say Maraka. Yeah, no capital B. Joseph Mwabili right there. Communications and PR expert. Also, Mashuuru, Sports Foundation, and Jukua right there. And you know what? So many insights you've given us in terms of, from merchandising to the economies and how it affects, to even branding.
Club membership.
Club membership. I have one question before we let you go. In the next 10 years, who do you think will own more of these clubs? Is it going to be political owned? Are we going to go the German way and do the fan ownership? Or are we going to go the English way and say business moguls come and buy these clubs?
I think at the moment, it's going to be politicians. Because I don't think the business people are willing to invest, especially if there's no guarantee of return investment. We don't have a proof of concept yet. For the politicians, they've seen how you can get political goodwill by just being associated with sports. We saw it with Chan. Even people forgot to talk about the government for a month. And you can have almost a guarantee of pulling 50, 60k people in one place, and they'll still pay, because in political rallies you pay people to come. Here people pay and they see you in good light.
Yes.
And I don't think at the moment where we are, politicians can afford 20, 30 million a season, and that's a budget to run a solid club.
So there's no one point you'll see that whereby clubs will go out to the fans and say, you know what, be our plus one. Get involved in everything we're doing, from the financial stand bit, from the sponsorship stand bit, like how they're doing it in the Bundesliga, whereby No?
Because even the Bundesliga at the moment, I've seen the Bayern president, Uli Hoeneß, talk about it so many times, that how that model is hurting them, especially the big clubs like Bayern Munich, to compete, because they are competing against the world, the European big boys. You're not going to compete with Man City if you're not spending 100, 200 million per transfer window. And the current model doesn't allow you that, because you're only depending on the revenue from the fans, as compared to this other one where the Saudi people can just invest without maybe feeling the even Barcelona. I think even President Laporta has been, even Perez, that's the whole idea of creating the Super League, because that model is very hard for you to compete against the other teams who are funded by rich people,
by corporates and also rich people. Good stuff. So now I can do it officially.
Yeah.
Alright,
we'll talk till 10.
No, he's quite interesting. Yeah, umenotice tunaweza bonga. Story haziisha bana. This is Sport FM. That has been Joseph Mwabili, who is a communications and PR expert. Also with Mashuru, Sports Foundation, and Jukua, and like you said, Kariobangi Starlets, correct? And Kayole Starlets. And go and check out what they're doing right there. There's so much to unpack, but you know what? At the end of the day, let's enjoy sports, but also let's invest in sports.